On February 15th, 2000, Fox aired what would end up becoming one of the biggest spectacles in reality competition television history. Although watched by millions of curious viewers, the show would be such a moral failure it was never attempted again after this one episode and lives on today as one of the worst TV shows in history. This is the story of Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire. The show was created by head of Fox's unscripted programming department at the time, Mike Darnell. It is said that Darnell came up with the idea for the show while bored out of his mind at a wedding and wanted to combine the sanctity of marriage with the popular question and answer game Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which was leading the ratings charts on ABC. The idea was this would essentially bring together both American dreams of getting married and getting rich at the same time. Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire opens with the basic premise of the show that out of 50 women, one will be selected to become the bride of a mysterious unknown multi-millionaire that they have never met before. The show was hosted by Jay Thomas, known for his recurring role in Work and Mindy, his annual appearances on The Late Show with David Letterman, and his Emmy-winning role on the series Murphy Brown. After introducing the concept of the show to the viewers, we are presented a silhouette of our multimillionaire along with his family and friends who were flown into Las Vegas where the show took place. When asked about the big day, their response was, "This will be interesting." You know that if a wedding is referred to as interesting, it's going to be a bumpy ride. After announcing that countless women sent in their contact information, the 50 finalists are presented one at a time. The women have a fun week in Vegas, which is quickly recapped, and then it's down to business. The millionaire picks 10 semi-finalists that will move on to the next round. After 80% of the field is eliminated minutes into the competition, only then the women are individually given a multiple-choice compatibility quiz where they are asked a couple of softball questions.
The question is about your home. Let's say your house is a little dirty. What do? You break out the dustbuster yourself because you can't stand a messy house. That's A. B, wait it out because after all, the maid is coming tomorrow. C, ask that lazy multimillionaire husband of yours to help out. Just because he's a multimillionaire doesn't mean he can't use a mop. Or D, none of the above.
They're given a score by the millionaire's friends and family, and much like on Whose Line Is It Anyway, the points don't matter. Our future bride finished 6th out of 10. And then of course comes the inevitable beachwear competition. I don't think I need to say any more about that. While it is standard for beauty pageants to have swimwear segments, here it just seems a bit sleazy. So based solely on a few multiple choice questions, the scores of his friends and family, and swimwear display, our millionaire picks his top 5 contestants to be finalists while still in their bathing suits. For obvious reasons, I don't have any real life experience here, but I would assume that being rejected in a bikini on national TV would be fairly humiliating. Back in their formal attire, the finalists are placed in a relatively high and uncomfortable chair and asked 30-second questions that actually dive a little further into what the millionaire would be looking for in a wife. The family and friends give a score, which again really doesn't matter. The 5 finalists are then reintroduced, this time fully decked out in their wedding gowns. While in their gowns, the potential brides make one final short plea to the millionaire. There is something about a begging bride that is simply sickening. Finally, we get to meet our multi-millionaire, and it's none other than former comedian Rick Rockwell, who technically didn't have $1 million, and many years prior had a restraining order against him. Fox didn't see an issue with these items as his net worth was deemed to be $2 million, and he obeyed his legal order, thus the show proceeded as planned. He then picks Darva Conger to be his bride. He proposes, and they seal the deal with an awkward hug. Just what you want to see before the biggest TV wedding since Luke and Laura. They then get married in a quick ceremony, they share an incredibly awkward first dance, and that's Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire. It's The aftermath of this show was short and sweet. Conger immediately had the marriage annulled and the fantasy story ended by April 2000. She quickly stated that she fully regretted participating in the stunt. Then, in a very rare showing of political solitude, the right-wing group Media Research Center and the feminist organization Now came together to severely denounce the existence of Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire. Fox then decided not to air a repeat of the broadcast, and there wouldn't be any more episodes of the series. At the same time, Fox pulled several unscripted shows from production, including Plastic Surgery Nightmares, Busted on the Job 5, and The World's Biggest Bitches. Conger and Rockwell would later reunite on Larry King Live in what could only be described as a complete slow-motion train wreck. And that would be the last of Hollywood's latest and greatest power couple, a year too late and completely unnecessary since by that point, no one cared. This show was a complete moral failure. Having said that, 22 million viewers tuned in that night to watch the 2-hour special. 22 million people put eyes on advertisers that night. Still, Fox ultimately did the right thing by abandoning the project and moving on with life. Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire currently stands at a 1.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Although generally I would still give networks credit for at least trying ideas that are a bit out of left field, there was absolutely no reason why this show ever should have happened in the first place. Fox never should have greenlit the show due to it suggesting that money and looking good in swimsuits are the most important aspects of marriage, and the inevitable backlash that would occur as the result of it. Not to mention, it was overall a terrible production. The women were poorly lit, the marriage set looked like something I would put together on a $500 budget in community college, and they couldn't find a better chair than that one.
Backstage with Leanza. Thank you. Can I help you there? There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much.
At least the ring was nice, I'll give them that. Overall, Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire would only be a small speed bump when it came to reality television on Fox. Sure, this show had a horrible premise and was borderline unwatchable, but the network would fully recover and then some just a year later when they would premiere a new reality competition show that was much more tasteful and much more accessible to general audiences, and the rest, as they say, is history. And that was Who Wants to Marry a Multi-Millionaire. I sincerely want to thank the channel Cromulent Rips for uploading this video. Please follow her channel if you like a wide variety of classic TV. And if you liked this presentation, do like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. I'm hoping to do more deep dives like this in the future. Meanwhile, if you want to see other rare show reviews including Pants Off Dance Off and Bingo Break, click here.